Welcome back, nieces and nephews, to JEWAP, which stands for Just Everything with Auntie Pookie Podcast. I'm your host, Sydney, or as many know me as Auntie Pookie. Now, on today's episode of Black History Educational Days, whatever I've been calling it, I do have a segment in my whole podcast called Ask Auntie Pookie Anything, and someone sent me a message asking me how do I feel as a Black woman in today's world, and I decided to add this to the Black History just educational thing to help anybody who's tuning in and listening and who can maybe relate to how I feel as being a Black woman. I've been back and forth about many things of feeling how I feel about being a woman and also being a Black woman. Growing up, I did not have issues with race or anything, and I don't think I've ever been discriminated against as a kid that I can remember. I do remember one time going to South Carolina with my family for a reunion, and my cousin was with us, and she's darker than us, but just beautiful chocolate skin. And this lady, we were at the buffet, one of the best buffets out there. I don't even remember what it was, but let me tell you something. I can still taste the lobster and the crab legs that they had. It was so fire. But anyways, this lady came up to the line, and my cousin, her and I were up there. We were, young and just grabbing stuff and eating it. It was hilarious. And the lady and my dad walked up, and my dad is light-skinned as well. And the lady said something about, I'm so tired of white people adopting nigger babies or something. And that was probably one of the first encounters I've had, and that was pretty intense. And, I think my family and I talked a little bit about how it's still segregated down there, and it was just a mess. And, it really, excuse my language, pissed me off, because I'm just like, first of all, we ain't adopted. This is my dad, and this is my blood cousin, and what many people fail to realize is that Black people are so many different shades. Asians are so many different shades. Mexicans are so many different shades. Dominicans are there is literally not one color, literally. What I'm saying? Even white people are different shades, there's not a person that's literally the same color as the colors we learned in school, And, in that moment I was pissed, but I didn't really understand it very well. And then when, George Floyd got killed, and that really opened my eyes even more, even though I've known a lot prior to this incident because I'm almost 33 years old. But when, Black Lives Matter started, and just the things that were being said on the internet, I'm not gonna lie, I got sucked into internet bullying. I would be watching cases and watching the marches, and people would be saying so many things. And one thing in particular, I remember someone saying they were like, Black people are the devil's children and God doesn't love them. And I was going in, my hands probably got arthritis during that time, because I was thugging it. I was a keyboard thug during Black Lives Matter. And I actually, I went protesting. I protested in my car with a lot of other people driving their cars. And, I stood up for what I believed in. And it hurt me because I felt like, why should we hate each other because we were born the way we were? I still never, and I don't understand why people hate us so much. And it is just sickening. It's really sickening for me because, my family is so mixed, and my grandmother is an immigrant, and it bothers me. It really irks my nerves that when I go out in public, I get followed still, and I'm smart. I'm a smart aleck. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've gotten followed in the grocery store before, and I turned around and I asked the lady, I was like, do you need help with something? She's like, oh, no, I don't need help with anything. And I was like, oh, because you work here, right? I was like, oh, but you're following me because you think I'm going to steal, right? She's like, oh, no, I don't think that at all. I'm just going around making sure the aisles are good. I said, oh, every aisle that I'm in, coincidentally. And so I kept walking and I kept walking, and I and I caught her creeping around the corner, and I just yelled, and I'm never really loud in public, like unless I'm with my friends and we're, cackling and we're in an environment where we can just be loud. But I was like, just because I am black and I am shopping does not mean that I'm stealing. Like, I screamed it. And after that, she wasn't following me. And, it just pains me. It really pains me. One thing I want to do is interview a really racist person and really dig deep into their brain and ask them questions that might make them very uncomfortable. But I still want to know. I want to know why you hate me so much when God made me this way. And, back to the question, how do I feel about being a black woman? It stresses me out. Sadly, I don't ever want to change who I am. And of course I can't, but it stresses me out because I am emotional at times, and I'm a sensitive person, but I'm a hardcore person as well. But I always have to redirect myself when I run into problems. I have to redirect my character. I have to walk through places smiling and be so generous. And I'm fine with being generous because I am a very nice person overall. But I'm not perfect. I'm human. But it just bothers me that if I get pissed at something, I'm perceived as someone that is angry, hostile, uneducated, emotional. Oh, she's just emotional because she's a girl. And it's like, oh my Lanta, like, I have emotional guy friends, man. Like, and I'm cool with that. And I'm not judging them. And I don't care if they cry in front of me. Like, I console them. I console my friends. I feel like we all should be able to vent how we feel and not get judged for it. Like, literally, it really bothers me. It pisses me off that we have to dumb down our emotions or we'll get perceived as someone crazy. Prime example, when I can't think of the Supreme Court lady's name, the Supreme Court justice who's now a Supreme Court justice, and she's black. I was watching those interviews and the questions they were asking her and that panel. I think they were in a courtroom. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I was getting pissed because I'm like, y'all are literally asking her questions to make her look stupid. Like, this one guy who I've watched interrogate a lot of people and question people in all of the city council meetings and all that kind of stuff. And that dude needs to be punched in the throat. No, I'm kidding. No violence. But he literally is a horrible individual. And what kills me, and I question people like this, those of you that really hate people of color, how do you sleep at night? Like, how do you freaking sleep at night knowing that every single day you hate someone because they were born the way they were born and they had no choice? I didn't have a choice to be black or a female. I didn't have a choice to be light-skinned. I didn't have a choice to be attractive. I didn't have a choice to be skinny. I didn't have a choice to be how I was. I do have a choice to change my appearance, but do I want to? Heck no, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting plastic surgery or getting these BBLs and getting ramen noodle juice in my behind. Literally, the people who legitimately are not changing who they are, what they look like, or had a choice of how they were when they were born, how the heck do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night knowing that you instill in your kids to hate someone because of the color of their skin? How do you freaking live with yourself? Mind you, I have judged people, and I've judged people of all races. Legitimately, I have. I have made comments, I have gossiped, and I'm not perfect. I'm a human. But let me tell you something. I'm not judging people because of their skin color. And it doesn't make it any better. I'm not trying to validate why I've said some of the things I've said. I just question their character, and I wonder why they do the things they do and how they were brought up and what trauma did they go through and why they're suffering the way they're suffering. And anybody can ask you that knows me, or anybody can ask that knows me, why I break down these things like this, because of the fact that the way we were raised, particular people, there are things that, one, we don't know, and we need to unlearn, and we need to learn, and we need to change, and there's so many generational things, but it's the breakdown of why a person has done what they done, not, oh, because they black, so they did this, and because they white, and they did this. It's like, literally, the problem is that when we move together, we move and make a difference. And when we're segregated and separated, and you hating so-and-so because their hair is longer than yours, or you mad because she's brown skin, or you mad because she can't twerk. Let me tell you something. I've been so annoyed with so many people who have asked me, oh, how do you shake your butt? You black girls do your thing. And I'm like, dang, not everybody can dance and have rhythm that's black, okay? There's so many stereotypes and so many like just horrible headache things that I've come across with people who have asked me, and it really just pisses me off. Like people ask me questions, they'll be like, as a white person, and I'm just like, here we go. Can you just be a person? Because when you die, you're not even a race, you're a spirit, literally. And whether you go to heaven or hell, that's on you. But it's like, why can't you just be, as a person who doesn't really know something about culture, and ask your question, or just say, hey, I got a question for you. And I'm just asking this question, because I'm just curious and trying to educate myself. That's even better to say than as a white person, or as a white person, I just don't understand how you guys, have blonde hair one day and green. Then it's like, you're literally insulting us. Stop doing that. I say all that to say this. Again, back to my first question. I enjoy being a black woman, but it has been very hard for me because people are so unaccepting. And I was judged during Black Lives Matter. This person wrote, I'm not black or white enough to have an opinion on what's going on in the world. And that really made me want to jump through the phone and slap him with some baby powder. Because it's like, on my census and to the world, I am a black woman. If I wanted to, or my parents put on my birth certificate that I was a white woman, society would still say I'm black. Like, I don't get the option because of my skin color. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. I'm very black and I'm proud. But it is stressful and it's hard. And I'm going to just say this for everyone. It doesn't matter your race, size, shape, whatever. Get to know someone before you freaking judge them. And if they don't vibe with you, that is okay. That is perfectly fine. But one thing, also stand up for your people of other colors. Literally. Because I can tell you right now, I read people well. And I know I have some friends who talk with me the way they talk, but I bet you around their same colored friends, they're not talking that same way. And I can tell by their vibe, and I can tell how they act on social media or when they're around other people. Like, I pay attention to those things. It's like, don't be fake. Be who you really are. And if you just are friends with a particular race so you can be cool, that's really inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? It's really inappropriate to be that way. Like, have a group of friends or people in your life that you legitimately care about and would stand up for if something bad happened. I mean, look at Bernie Sanders. That's my dog. He has shown that he is for the people, man. Like, and he continues to do that. I wish he would run for presidency again and actually get elected and quit playing games. But, hey, he doing his thing. But, legitimately, we got to protect each other as humans. Can we just be human? Like, literally. There was a video I watched of this artist, and he reversed roles with black people and white people. And the video was so powerful, and it's just like, what if things were switched? What if roles were switched? Wouldn't you want someone to fight for you and treat you equal? Think about that. I want to be treated equal. I don't want to be seen as just a black female. I just want to be seen as a nice, funny person. And if you know me, you know me. You know what I like. You know what I dislike. And that's it. I don't need to be oh, Sydney's cool for a black girl. Like, let me tell y'all something. I can't stand that. I can't stand, oh, she's pretty for being a big girl, or he's cute for being a dark-skinned black guy. And I'm like, there's so many controversial things when it comes to just people, and literally we are humans. We are broken humans that need help, that need love, that need healing. We need so many things. And as a black woman, I'm getting those things. I'm healing. I'm going to therapy. I'm not going to be a product of what the world puts me in, or people have put me in, or family, or relationships. None of that. I'm working hard for just being human. And we should all try to do that as well. Just work hard as being a human. And shout out to anybody that just loves people and just loves love and loves humans. And you're not discriminating against no one. Literally, you're not doing any of those things. You're not going to the store and walking away from somebody or holding on to your damn purse. Like, you're not doing any of those things. You're literally just like, all right, y'all, what's up? How you doing? How are things? People would get so mad at me because I'm a social butterfly, and it was almost a bad thing to just talk to people. And as a black woman, and this is just hard for me to even say out my mouth, I literally say hi to everyone, and I'm nice to people because I want to change the dynamic and the judgment of people, or mindset of how they feel about black women. And it's like, we are not scary as people think we are. Like, and that hurts me to even think that people are scared, afraid of me. I literally, one of my side hustles is I grocery shop for elderly people. And I love doing that because our elders are getting older and they can't do particular things. And I don't want them to feel like they can't get the help. And it's crazy. Every time they open the door and see a black woman, delivering their groceries, and I am just so friendly. Their whole, literally, just the look on their face changes. And they're just like, thank you so much. You are really nice. And it's almost like they're questioning my niceness. Like, you are nice? What? It's sad and heartening. So, people's homework, whether you do it or not, or you learn anything from this, even if you take one piece of what I said, you can change your way of thinking, and you can change how you see people, and you can change your judgment. And as a believer, we're not supposed to judge. It's God who's the one that judges us. And yes, are we human? Yes, we make mistakes and all that, but repent. And we need to love on each other, because love is what's going to help us get through these dark times and these dark years and all this stuff. Like, it still baffles me that we're at war with so many countries. Like, why are we at war with everybody? We at war with our families. We at war with our spouses, our kids, our grandparents, our teachers, our co-workers. Like, we are all at war. We're at war with China. We're at war with freaking Iran. We are at war with everyone. What? Why can't we just get along? Like, why can't we just be like, you're different, I'm different, cool. Have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the freaking problem? What is the issue? Why is it that people be online bashing these celebrities, and it's like, you know how many millionaires there are, and they're not even quote unquote famous, but these people are in the limelight and they get destroyed every single day, and a lot of them are killing themselves because they're getting judged by people who can't even wipe their own ass correctly. It's like, you hate yourself so much, and this goes for people who are racist too. You hate yourself so much that you hate others so much. It's projecting the hate. It's a real thing. I literally have learned so much on why people are so freaking evil, and a lot of it is projection. They hate themselves so bad that they want you to be miserable. You in a happy relationship, you have moved on from your past relationship, your narcissistic, whatever terrible relationship you had in the past, and you're moving on to something great, and you tell your friends it's great, and they mad because you got a great person and you living your best life. It's like, but they are never going to do that because they don't want to change. They rather play victim. It's just it's so baffling. And I could go on for days about how much I can't stand how people hate people because they're different and because they have a different job and all of these things and how they treat people. And I'll say this last thing. It's crazy to me how CEOs treat people who like are a receptionist or someone who does DoorDash or Lyft or Uber or whatever, and they treat them like they are a peasant. It's like, let me tell you something. You go to work every single day, and when you clock out, you are just a human like any other person. So stop freaking treating people like they are the scum of the earth. Racist people, I am talking to you. And there's racists in all cultures, okay? Literally there. I ain't even going to get into that because that's going to be another podcast for another day. Racism in your own culture. Snap it up because it's going to be deep and pretty lit. It's just really, really terrible and daunting. But for the racists, really think about why you so dang perfect. And look in the Bible and see, because a lot of racists are a lot of Christians, which is wild to me. And don't even get me started on that because I could be talking for 52 hours on that. But anyways, you sit here and say all of these things and you're so just disgusting. And you literally live each day putting your energy into hating someone because of their differences. What if someone did what you do every single day to you, every single day and every single moment of your life? You wake up and they're calling you names. They're bashing you. They're bashing your children. They're wishing bad things on your children. They are literally tearing you down every single day. I remember the little, I'm not going to say lullaby, but song growing up is, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. It's like, no, words are so powerful and so terrible. And if you start your kids young and telling them these horrible things, it's going to be instilled in their brains. So it's like, what if every single day you were getting tore down because you like glitter? Hell, I like glitter. And I get tore down every day. Oh, you think you just a sparkly mother sucker? Like, what if someone tore you down every single day to the one thing that you know would hurt you? Like your self-esteem or your confidence or your car or your looks or your hair falling out. Like, what if someone tore you down every single day of your life? You wouldn't want to live. You would be struggling every single freaking day trying to build yourself up and not listen to the words of those people. Think about that. When you are out judging someone or even cussing them out because they're walking in a park, or you choke somebody out when they're literally doing what you told them to do. Like, think about those things. Think about your own children getting bullied and harassed, and no one does anything about it. Not the schools, not other parents. Hell, some parents help their kids bully other kids. Think about that every single day. And in closing of this, I'm proud, and I'm going to say it loud, to be a Black woman. Even though every single day I have struggles, trials, and things that I have to show the world that we are great. I will never change or want to change who I am and how God made me. Because in His eyes, I'm perfect. I am beautifully and wonderfully made. and through the rest of this lovely Black History lessons. There's going to be more things that are going to be on the podcast this month, and more educational things. But really take this time, if you're tuning in, to get ready to change your mindset if you really want to, and to change just your perspective on things, and to even maybe give you the confidence to better you and have better conversations and stand up for things that are right and better. Thanks for tuning in. And if you would like to send me any questions, I will put the text number below, so you can text that number and ask me any questions you like. And even if you want to be on the podcast as well, you also can text that number and we can get you set up for an interview. Have a great rest of your day.